Page 118, Frankie and Johnnie. A boogie-woogie type thing. The pattern you sing in the left hand is very common. You're going to run across this a lot, especially in boogie-woogies. And really all it is the primary chord, just based on. You got the one chord, it's here. And then a little later, go down to the third line down, you're here. That's actually a 4 chord. And then go down to the last line, you're here. That's a 5 chord. So really it is the 1, 4, and the 5, or 5, 7 chords that you're using this on, and that's typical of boogie-woogies. Fingering wise, I have some suggestions for the right hand. The left hand, you can play it the way it's written, there's no big deal. But I think there's some changes we could do to the right hand, make it a little easier to play. For instance, right at the beginning of this there, when the right hand comes in on 118, it's here. That's fine. That's fine. It's easier than putting the thumb on that black note. I mean, you could. I just find their fingering a little easier. But on the next line, first measure of the second line, I would put the second finger on the second. I'd do a 1, 2 there. Now on the next measure, rather than ending it with 4, 2, I would end it with 4, 3. Bring the third finger down so I can use 1, 2 on the black notes. They're saying use thumb on both black notes. That could be fun, I guess, if that's what you want to do. But I find that hard to control because I want to hear the B flat louder than the A flat. I don't want to hear them the same. It's kind of hard to do when you're using the thumb for both. So if I can use 1 and 2 here, I can just simply put a little more weight on the second finger. So I can hear that B flat better. I like that much better than thumb on both. Third line down, last measure, you're here. I would recommend for those eighth notes, you do a 4, 5. And for the last line, first measure, it's a 1, 2. Then I recommend a 1, then a 3 on those. On page 119, when you get the same stuff you just got on 118, I'd finger it the same. Exactly the same. I don't want to have to go through it all over again. You'll find it. Take a pencil and pencil it in, you're fine. Now there is a little gotcha in the left hand I want to point out. It happens a couple of times. On page 118, second line, last measure. In the left hand, you have this pattern. You're in this position. Well, in the first measure of the next line, you need this position. So you got to get from here to here. And the way they're showing you doesn't work real well because you end up with second finger on the F. The last note in the second line is here. Then suddenly you got to have your little finger. You got to crouch way up to get there. And now if you can do that, that's fine. But another way to handle that is the last note on the second line, rather than using second finger, use the fourth finger. And that way you're in position for the little finger. You don't have to crunch up. That happens on 119 too, or page 119. Yeah. Pedal wise, there's just a little bit of pedal going on here, and frankly you don't even need it there. They're just helping it to reinforce the music a little bit. Look on page 118, third line down, last measure. It's here. Okay, but it's just not necessary. Add the pedal if you want to. I wouldn't pedal anything else. If you've got this one and there's a little bit over on page 119 they're saying to pedal, and that's all I would pedal. I wouldn't pedal anything else. When we do the play with me together, I'm going to hold the fermata at the end for 4 counts instead of 2, and we're going to swing these eighth notes. So rather than this 1 and 2 and 3, we're going to go long short. So, well, let's try it and see what happens. Common time or 4/4 time will give us 4 counts. So left hand's here, right hand's here, foot's on the pedal. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and go. And rest.